So bury it down. I see the demons that you carry around. I know evil. You give it away. With every thought you break, you and I are both the same. I know evil. I know evil. I know evil. I know
Yeah, he knows evil. He knows evil. The Painmaker knows evil. That was a sneak preview of basically the brand new music video that we have from Fozzy. That's I Know Evil. And joining me, we got the GOAT himself, the future Hall of Famer of every single like wrestling promotion of all kind, and potentially a future rock and roll Hall of Famer as well. Chris Jericho joining us. Good morning, Chris. Thank you for joining the show.
I love how you had confidence that I was going to be here on time and that you started the video a couple minutes before noon. So I had to be here. I got on. I'm like, man, I'm glad I'm on time, or else you'd be waiting here right now with dead air.
That was me yesterday, but I was pre-recording it. I know we were good, and honestly, I was flabbergasted that we booked this interview with you last week, right? With this release of I Know Evil, and it's the third single from Fozzy, which potentially will be off an album we'll get to. But what I didn't realize is that your match on Sunday at AEW Redemption would have been so brutal with Tommaso Ciampa that like legitimately it was going to be less than 12 hours initially that I was going to talk to you after going through a full-blown war.
And here we are, ready to rock as always with Beef Vegan, the anomaly. Oh, the irony that your parents named you Beef with the family name of Vegan.
Yeah, and then I named my daughter Veal, so I keep it, in the family.
But then when you have another child, you name them like, tofu and really keep them guessing, right? Like what side of the coin is he on? Beef vegan, veal vegan, and tofu vegan. The whole family is an anomaly.
Do your kids have wrestling nicknames or monikers at home?
My kids are in the early 20s. Why would I give them wrestling nicknames?
When they were kids, which I was going to ask you. I mean, as these kids are growing up, and now you got full-blown grown kids, great looking kids too. Do any of them have the wrestling bug or the rock and roll bug?
No, I mean, that's the thing. I have 3 and none of them are really into show business at all at this point. My daughter Sierra is the closest. She's kind of getting into advertising and marketing and that sort of a thing. So she knows how to promote people in showbiz. But yeah, when you have kids, you want them to just do whatever they want to do and whatever they have a passion for. And I think that's one thing that I was always pretty lucky with my parents is that as fantastical as it seemed, especially in 1990, to want to become a wrestler and want to get into a rock and roll band. It's, not easy to do even nowadays.
Interesting you say that too, the family business, because your dad was a professional hockey player, correct?
Yeah, So, and that's the thing. Like, he was a pro hockey player. I wasn't very good at hockey, so there was a lot of pressure on me to kind of follow in his footsteps, and I just wasn't cut out for that. And I think it's the same with my kids who now are, third generation athletes, entertainers. But you don't have to go down that route if you don't feel it, and whatever they decide to do is cool by me. So, and wrestling and rock and roll are both very hard businesses to get into. Not that you can't do it, but it's not like breaking my heart that they haven't shown any interest. I mean, listen, they're still in 20 and 22. They might wake up tomorrow and want to give it a try, but for right now, they've got other interests, and that's 1,000% cool by me.
Yeah, well, speaking of your father being a professional hockey player, I mean, Sunday night during your match with Tommaso Ciampa, you busted out not only thumbtacks but hockey pucks with thumbtacks. Do you subconsciously kind of think of your dad in that moment? Like this is almost an homage, a painful homage to your dad? Well,
I mean, not necessarily. It's kind of the way that we took the match with, it's in Montreal. Obviously, it's a huge hockey city. Yeah. And, we had the idea to kind of use a hockey themed spot, but that really didn't have anything to do with my dad. I did send him the spot because it's fun. the
Yeah.
hockey stick and the hockey pucks and all that sort of thing. So, anytime there's any sort of hockey, reference, but also too, I mean, just wrestling as a whole, he's very into that. He's very into everything that Fozzy does as well. So it's cool when you have supportive parents that really get behind everything that you do. So I was very lucky in that respect. For like I said, both for wrestling and music.
Well, I mean, it's, I'm sure in hindsight, it's easy to be supportive of all the years of success. I mean, at the beginning, I'm sure there's a little bit of questioning because of the struggle that you have to kind of endure to make your name and cut your teeth and be successful in the wrestling industry and music industry for that matter. We're talking with Chris Jericho live on Rock 102.1 KFMA because Fozzy has a brand new music video and single that is being released for I Know Evil, which you did a lot of festival footage there. What was the festival you shot this music video at?
There was a lot of them that we
Yeah.
did. Welcome to Rockville in Daytona. We did Sonic Temple in Columbus, and then we had a huge tour in England in February that we got lots of great footage of. And when you put out I Know Evil, because it came out about a month and change ago, and now it back in the day, you would put the video out at the same time as the album came out, at the same time as the single came out. And now it's different. You can kind of space them out a bit. So the single comes out, it's going up the charts, it's about to hit the top 20. Then you drop the music video, which kind of shows all the stuff we've been doing this year that makes us look massive and makes us look huge. You know what I mean? And it's all kind of cool to see all of that and see all of the the great places that you've played, and that's the best part. And just to show the crowd reaction, when you do the festivals, that it's really cool because people come early and they're there to have a great time. And so if we're playing in the middle of the day, you still get the same reaction that, Guns N' Roses and My Chemical Romance got later on in the show, because people are excited and they want to be there. So it just makes the band look huge. We actually got a lot of inspiration from the
you Paradise City, the Guns N' Roses music video.
Yeah, if you watch that, that's kind of where I got the vibe. It's live and there's some backstage stuff and it looks like they're having fun. And it just kind of gives you a little bit of a behind the scene glimpse of what it's like on the road. And so we thought that would really fit this I Know Evil concept, because you could go to a studio and film some kind of a high concept video, but sometimes it's cool just to see the band in its element. And Fozzy's a great, energetic, exciting live band. So we thought now was the time to kind of show that with all this great footage that we had amassed just over the last 4 or 5 months.
Now, speaking of changing in the music industry, right, and how you would release songs, this is your third single off of what potentially might be an album, but you didn't necessarily announce that you guys are releasing another album, right?
Yeah, it's not really a third single from an album. What we've done is, after the last record, Boombox, which we basically made over the pandemic, we had 12 songs that we thought all of them are just brilliant. And you release 3 of them to radio and they all go top 10, and you play another 3 or 4 of them live. And then you've got 5 or 6 songs that kind of just disappear. And we didn't want to do that anymore. So we started just releasing singles. And I think that's kind of the way of the world at this point in time, at least for us. I don't know if we'll ever do another album per se,
Right.
because you just want to continue to put out the singles and give each song a chance in itself. You know what I mean? Give it a chance at radio, make a video for it, play it live. And then you can see, either this song is a classic Fozzy song or it works for a tour, which is great too. But the last thing we wanted was another 5 or 6 songs like we had on Boombox. If you're talking about Ugly on the Inside or My Great Wall or The Omen, What Hell Is Like. These are great songs that we'll never get to do anything with. You spend all this time on a song, and if you don't really play it live, because you can only do so many each tour,
Right.
and they just disappear. So we didn't want to face that again. So yeah, the days of a Fozzy album might be over, but the days of releasing 2 or 3 singles a year seems very, very easy to do. And not easy, but it's very, very likely and very possible at this point.
Yeah, I like that too, because you're still putting out content, but not you're not releasing content that's going to get lost in the sauce, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that either. Exactly.
You continue to work with Johnny Andrews, who seems to be your guy. Why does he capture your sound better than others?
I mean, we started working with Johnny probably about 10 years ago when we first did the Lights Go Out single. And it was just something that was suggested by the record company. Prior to that, all the songs were written by myself and Rich Ward. And then when we got Johnny involved, he wanted to write some songs and produce with us. We thought it's really cool to have kind of that Bob Rock, Andrew Watt type Rick Rubin vibe of someone you can throw ideas off of. And that's when Fozzy went through the roof. That's when Judas and Painless and Burn Me Out and I Still Burn and Sane and kind of all of our hits in the last 10 years have all been collabs with Johnny. So we just work really well together. He likes kind of our vibe and what we do. And Rich works really well with him, and he knows how to write great melody lines for me. So yeah, it just really was an integral third partner that if you look at any great band ever, they have that element. And Fozzy found ours with Johnny Andrews.
It's a great collaboration because, it continues to produce results. So at 9 top 10 singles. Of course, Judas is one of those songs that not only is one of your big hits, but also your your wrestling theme to where now you have fans singing word for word. And
beyond that, though, now it was a hit kind of right out of the box, and then also being used on AEW weekly. But then it started getting played in football stadiums and hockey arenas, and then suddenly it goes gold. Now it's on the verge of going platinum, and to have a platinum record in this day and age is almost impossible because it's based on sales. Who buys music anymore? Streaming counts, but the amount of streams you have to get to platinum status is hundreds of millions. It's crazy. So just to know that we're getting near that level shows that we've got this legit kind of timeless hit song. It's our Enter Sandman. Not that it's as big as that, but you're dealing with 100 million streams on Spotify, and that's getting to some rarefied air, and it's cool to know that we have one of those songs.
Oh yeah, and it's timeless as well. Now, since you are a certified platinum artist, you have your belts behind you here, which I think I recognize. Intercontinental belt, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of just my actual belts are all kind of hung up. These are just kind of some other ones that I just had in the background. I mean, it's besides a Potsy Happy Days doll, so you can kind of see the level of intrigue there.
Well, did you
Potsy, Lemmy, Intercontinental title, and a picture of me when I was 10 years old. Not even. I think 5 years old right there.
I love it. It was a good setup. Well, did you make yourself a platinum belt for going platinum?
Well, we haven't gone platinum yet. I'm looking at the gold record on the wall right now. I think in probably another month or another year or so, we'll have that platinum record too. And I'll put it up right on the wall right behind me so everyone can see it.
Will you turn it into a belt though? Or is that like
no, I won't turn it into a belt. What would I do with it?
Why not? Well, I mean, add it to your extensive collection. You want every other belt. And to go platinum, honestly, is, it's such an accomplishment, great accomplishment. One that, is rarefied air. And, yes, the plaque is everything. Getting a platinum plaque, hanging that up, that definitely is.
I mean, I
remember
when I was a kid and they did like a interview, I think at Rudolph Shankar's house from the Scorpions, and he had like this whole wall of all these gold discs and platinum discs. It's like, man, one day it'd be so cool to have one of them hanging on my wall. And I have it right there. I'm looking at it, the Fozzy one. So to add the platinum as well, that puts you in a different level for sure.
Yeah, no, I love it. And that was the same goal of mine, just to even get gifted one.
Yeah.
And so when I got that, I was like, all right, got to check that off the box.
Well, that's part of it. When you go gold, we did the same. You give them to people that supported the band, different managers and agents, guys that used to play in the band, radio guys, Eddie Trunk gets one, those types of things. So yeah, it is very, very cool to include some of your favorite people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's the best gift for sure. How do you feel physically? I mean, you're like an anomaly on all fronts. You're actually, like a lot of people compare like Terry Funk. Terry Funk had a legendary career later in his career as well. And physically, you're moving quicker and, holding up. How many more years you think you got in the tank when it comes to performing in ring?
I mean, I don't really look at it like that, man. I don't really put a timeline on. Like, did I ever think I'd be doing it at 55? No, but do I not think of doing it? Like, it just seems like, yeah, I mean, 55, 25, 35. I mean, you look at the match, you mentioned the match we had on Sunday. I mean, that's as crazy as it was. It's still a great match, and it was probably one of the best matches on the show from a standpoint of the fan reaction. So, why would I want to step away from that? I still enjoy doing it and still can do it at at a level that's still show stealing, possibilities. So, it could be another week. It could be another 2 years or 3 years. I mean, I don't want to do it forever, but as long as I feel that I'm still, happy with the work that I'm doing, and not second guessing myself, then I'll continue to do it. And it's the same thing whenever you've been in show business for a long time. You're always going to have people that don't like you or want you to go away. And, the Stones just released one of their best records ever at 82. Yeah. So if they would have listened in, 89, when people were saying it's the Steel Wheelchair Tour, you guys need to retire, you're too old.
Right.
F that, man. Like, keep going as long as you can still be creatively fulfilled and as long as you still are putting out great work. So that's the best answer I can give you.
Yeah.
And I feel great. So I feel great. Literally. Like you saw the match on Sunday. I feel sore, but in a way that I felt sore for 35 years. It's just a sign of a good night's work. There's no like, oh my gosh, this hurts, or I better go to the doctor or anything like that. So, I don't wrestle 200 days a year anymore like I used to. So I just take the time between the matches to heal up and recoup, and then we get back at it again.
Yeah, and being a lifelong wrestling fan, I feel like I've seen it all, but there's so many different things that were introduced in this match that I didn't necessarily see. I've seen sandpaper before. You took an electric drill to Tommaso's head. Hockey pucks with thumbtacks, the elbow pad with thumbtacks. Which one of the different outside elements for you was most painful for you to deal with? Is the tax the most painful to land on still? Or what was the most painful in that scenario?
I mean, all of it. I mean, you can't say that none of, all of it, anytime you're taking a bump, a fall in the wrestling ring, it hurts. I mean, that's one thing that makes me laugh nowadays is that there's so much access for fans. They think nothing hurts. Like everything hurts. All of it hurts all the time. Yeah. So, just being in there doing it, I mean, getting punched in the face, getting chopped, all of that stuff. So when you add the elements of the weapons and that sort of thing, I mean, you tell me, you've been cut before. Everyone's been cut by, you step on a piece of glass. Does it hurt? Fucking rights. It hurts. It hurts bad. Just think about that and then times it by all the other stuff that we did. So I never want to downplay any of the things we do and go, well, that one didn't hurt or that one didn't hurt. Obviously 2 days later, like I said, I feel sore and feel, good, but I'm sure that 99% of the normal humans in the world would be in bed still, couldn't move. It's just that we're crazy and been doing this for so long. You just get used to it, but it's still, I mean, even my hand hurts from having a one tack. I remember we went in there and it still is killing me like a freaking tack. If I came and put a tack in the palm of your hand, you'd be like, oh dude, what are you doing?
I would cry like a bitch. I would.
Yeah. So there you go. So yes, all of it hurts.
What was was there something that you used for the first time, or did you have experience with all this stuff, like the sand to the eyes and things like that? I mean, because it seemed, for me, it seemed like, okay, this is pretty innovative as far as some of the, I mean, obviously just the pucks with the thumbtacks, never seen that before. Personally.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing. You always want to come up with new stuff that people have never seen before, which is hard because there's been so many of these types of matches. I haven't done a lot of them, which is kind of like the Painmaker signifies it's going to be, kind of a crazy death match. So what can we do that's different? So I just thought, I've done the hockey pucks before and people have done tacks. Why don't you combine the two? And the hockey pucks is because, Montreal is such a hockey oriented city. Mm-hmm. So let's use hockey pucks and glue some tacks on them and see what happens. Even like we've had panes of glass before, and this time they got mirrors. Well, that's kind of cool. I can hold it up and look in the mirror and all that sort of stuff, man. You just want to come up with ideas. I mean, obviously a drill is ridiculous. But the drill was part of the story, and we just thought, well, why don't we end the match by using it and kind of incorporate it into the rest of it? So, yeah, man, all of that stuff. You just try and be as innovative, as possible. I mean, we had sand in Clearwater because it was beach break, and then everyone was talking about pocket sand from King of the Hill. So this time I actually put a bunch of sand in my pocket and used pocket sand. That's only because fans brought that up. I'd never heard of the pocket sound of King of the Hill before. I said, well, let me use it in the next match. I'll actually put a pocket on my outfit and put some sand in it and go from there.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Very entertaining match. How close were you to going back to the WWE?
I mean, you weigh all your options, but I have skin in the game with AEW. I helped create AEW, and I was never gone. I just was off TV for a while we figured out some stuff, but basically just ended one contract and went straight to the other one. And it's, when you're at a place, I like Tony Khan as a boss. I like AEW as a company. I like the growth that we've done, and I helped start the company, so I'll always have, like I mentioned, skin in the game. WWE existed before I was there, and it'll exist after I was there. And of course, AEW will exist after I was there too, but it didn't exist before I was there. So, it kind of was more of it just kind of was more of exciting to be with the company that I helped create.
Yeah, I think it was an excellent call, and I know that fans were happy. And on the other side, I'm sure they were a little disappointed, but it did seem like going back to WWE would have been the swan song, and then just wrapping things up is what online speculation would be. But, I think the biggest takeaway, to be great, you have to work harder than anyone else in the room, and you personify that. Whether it's your wrestling career, music, writing books, hosting your podcast, acting, you're constantly grinding away. I've always admired your work and your work ethic, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
I appreciate it too, man. Tucson's a great city, and we've had some great gigs there, and we look forward to returning very, very soon, both with Fozzy and AEW.
Yes, and I hope that is very soon. So till then, you can check out Fozzy performing live in the brand new music video, I Know Evil. Check it out on YouTube, rack up those views so we can make them YouTube certified platinum, if that's a thing. And just keep adding to the accolades. Chris Jericho, thank you again so much for your time, and hopefully we get to see you soon.
Thanks, Beef.
Yeah,
That's
Chris Jericho, everybody.